Hello everyone, welcome back to yet another political episode. So we are back again, and whoops, what's going on? Okay, this computer's been very silly lately. But we're back, and we are going to be talking about some news that broke kinda today. It really has to focus on the United States Senate election in Texas and what it's looking like right now. It looks like Ken Paxton, the Attorney General of Texas, is about to oust John Cornyn, the incumbent senator, from his own primary seat. Of course, I wouldn't get my hopes up on it because Cornyn is the incumbent, and almost always the incumbent wins his primary. We've seen couple examples of incumbents losing their primaries, but I believe there was this one homeschool teacher that ousted the superintendent, the Republican superintendent, or Republican, the incumbent superintendent in North Carolina. So if Ken Paxton does this in less than a year away, if he gets away with this and does this, which it's looking like it looks like he probably will, we will have Paxton as the running man. Of course, we don't have the advantage of being the incumbent party, but it's pretty much guaranteed that Republicans will carry this seat anyway. And you will see on all the way to the bottom of the screen, Democrats are getting very desperate. They are getting into big cope. They think they can do anything because Trump unpopular. Trump's the presidency of failure, even though we've learned a lot from the 2024 election that we can't always look at a poll and assume that it must be correct, because they told us that Kamala Harris was the biggest star on the planet, and everyone believed it except for Republicans, except for the conspiracy theorists. And then guess what? The conspiracy theorists were right. And allegedly, Donald Trump's low in his approval rating. We do know that he is unpopular when it comes to the tariffs, but he is very much praised in regards to the border. And a lot of people has praised him on the border security. The small record of amount of aliens going across the border almost daily has decreased, and people are applauding him for it. So it's not as low as what people are saying it is, and this is obviously a psyop to help Democrats in the midterms. We know their game. The liberal trolls and all the liberals and Democrats, they're going to say that, oh, you're coping, oh, you're in denial. Well, to be honest, you guys were in denial about Kamala Harris, because Kamala Harris was unpopular. Am I not right? They were in denial. And of course, they were in denial even after when Trump won in the election. But what we have right here is actual proof. We have the Iowa poll, the infamous Iowa poll from Ann Selzer. Well, we will never forget it. The poll that basically made an attempt to help Democrats mobilize more and get boost momentum, the last dose of momentum for Democrats in the 2024 election, right above November. That was our last attempt. How did that turn out for them? Well, this was supposed to demoralize Republicans, right? It was supposed to demoralize Republicans. But what ended up happening, Republicans were smarter than that. They said, hey, look, this doesn't make sense. In order for this poll to work out, this would require an amount of Trump supporters. And what we're seeing right here with the Brad Parscale poll that took place in mid-April, it's kind of hilarious and almost laughable. They're saying that Colin Alred, the failed U.S. Senate nominee who underperformed his polling expectations, by the way, in 2024, will defeat the Attorney General of Texas by 16 points, 15 points. That's solid Democrat. Now, this is big cope, and we know this is not going to happen. I mean, let's take a look at 2018, for instance. I mean, 2018 was a good race for Democrats in the state of Texas. Like, look at here. The polling expectation was leaning Republican, even likely Republican in favor for Ted Cruz. But because Ted Cruz was pretty unpopular in this race, you'll have Ted Cruz just winning by 2 points. He underperformed massively, even losing Trump districts, which Donald Trump carried pretty handily in 2016. This was a disaster and probably one of the L's for the Republican Party in the 2018 midterms. And this pretty much, Beto O'Rourke, he could have ran again if he wanted to, but he didn't. And a lot of people say, oh, he could run again. But yeah, you'll see clearly Ted Cruz, this sort of idea that he was always going to win. The last poll taken showing an O'Rourke victory was in a September 2018 poll from Ipsos. But you get what I'm saying. O'Rourke overperformed, and this was supposed to be a leaning Republican. And you could say, how is this benefiting your argument, you may ask. But I'm just saying, well, this is all Democrats can do in the state of Texas, period. This is all they can do, apparently. Sure, in 20, they could flip Texas in 20. They argue they were going to flip Texas because of this election. And the fact that Donald Trump was unpopular, but the deal is, I don't even know Donald Trump supporters would show up in the state of Texas. But obviously the polls, they were saying that Texas, it was going to go Democrat because, look, comparing the polls to the 2018 polls, you would be pretty convinced. I mean, Cruz won the most polls, and the polls were off, and it ended up going more, and the results actually were more in favor for O'Rourke. But even Joe Biden, they said, oh, look at these polls. Actually, no, do we have any polls? I don't think we have polls. Yes, yeah, it's a 1 point, you'll see it's off and on, but more polls going for Biden than compared to O'Rourke. But Trump leading all the way through. It was more toss-ups, but ultimately a lot Democrats were hoping to pick up this seat. But what ended up happening was Texas ended up going more rightward than it expected to go more leftward. Very huge difference. Trump won more Hispanic voters compared to Cruz. And overall, I think it was mainly because of the turnout. It was low, okay? Pretty low. 53% of registered voters. That is pretty low. 64% in 2012, 53% in 2018 But you get what I'm saying. So what would this, if this were correct, Brad Parscale's poll, if it were correct, what would a solid blue Texas look like? I think we did a video like this with the state of California. What would a solid red California look like? Well, I would say solid red. A Republican California, in other words, look like. Let's do a Democrat Texas. And it starts off, first off, we probably need to go over the the counties that pretty much got O'Rourke to a very reachable number, and that is by margin. Let's start off with O'Rourke County. Zavala. Let's start off with the big ones, though. El Paso. Let's see. Well, Zavala. Yeah, let's bring Zavala up to 80%. 80%, maybe 85%. Maybe that is a better number. But yes, obviously a huge swing in a scenario, a Democrat scenario. Zavala it's the most Democrat county in this said race. Starr County, which I want to believe, Starr County went to Trump, and this was the second most Democratic county. But I do think Starr will underperform, maybe like 69% Democratic. El Paso, the third most Democratic county. It's the most populous Democratic county in this said race, referring to 2018. I would say, 2018, it was 74. So I would imagine a much like 76%, maybe 76. And you will see that, okay, it's with, it went down a little bit. But that is one example. El Paso, Travis County, 74%. I would say maybe it goes up to like 78%. It's pretty liberal. Now it's 4.5. Okay, Travis. Presidio. All right, it's that one stubborn Hispanic county right here that didn't go for Donald Trump. It went to Kamala. But the idea is it will go like 75% maybe. Less big shifts. Jim Hogg, 71%. Where's Jim Hogg? Right down below. I will say like 63. Okay? We'll get this. Well, no, we'll keep it up for reference. Maverick County, 71%. 71. Yeah, I would say it's 61, 62, 64. It's a Trump county. Brooks. This county went 71%. This is also a Trump county. Well, actually, is it Trump county? Maybe. Oh yeah, Jim Hogg, I want to believe, voted for Harris or something like that. Let's say 68%. All right. Webb, one of the liberal, actually, yeah, it's another Trump county. Well, actually, is it? Yeah, it is. I will say 63%. Dimmitt. So, ironically, in this case, it's Colin Allred. He's winning the counties that he didn't really do so well in. And he's winning them by a lot. Hidalgo County, down below. Okay? Duval County, and we're doing the Hispanic counties first. Even though Hispanic counties, basically, Democrats pretty much lost them in the said election of 2024. But they said, 2024, all this changed, right? All it changed. People learned that Trump isn't good anymore. Yeah. That's their argument. But Republicans still have an advantage. Even with the Hispanic vote returning to Dems, they're still going to have a pretty hard time winning in the state. 63%. All right. So supposedly, Democrats will regain, I think Democrats will barely gain it. Actually, no. It's a pretty Republican county now. Yeah, it's the only county shifting right so far. Culberson County, 63%. Zapata County, Maybe it's on the upper fifth. Actually, hang on. There we go, in the upper 50s. It isn't going to be solid anymore, in case people are wondering. Cameron County, did we do Cameron already? I don't think we did, but Cameron will be in like in the upper 60s, well, lower 60s. Nope, that's the Republican. All right, yep. But Bexar, Bexar for sure is going to go into the 60s, or maybe upper 66%. All right, yeah, now it dropped to 3 points, almost to 2 points because of that. Bexar County, which held San Antonio. Harris County, that's going to go to the 60s, maybe upper 60s. 66, how about that? Deal? Yeah, now Republicans are barely holding on with 0.12%. So in order for Dems to really win, they're going to need to get to Harris County almost up to 70%. And if you haven't learned and haven't seen the results in Harris County, Republicans made significant gains. They almost won it. I mean, Democrats carried the county with a significant margin, but only by 51%. That's the lowest and most worst result that they've carried since 2008. The big Obama wave, they didn't really have a good chance of keeping it. But Democrats do have an opportunity in keeping and winning in the suburban area of Hays County. Fort Bend, yeah, even I think that would be up into the 60s. Yep, now Democrats are leading. Okay, so, and even Dallas is at 66%. And keep in mind, you also need El Paso to go up there. You need Bexar. You need Harris to go up there. They need these huge Minneapolis, St. Paul like numbers in order for them to carry Texas, which is very hard to do. There's also Frio County, which is a pretty good Trump county, but in this scenario, would they carry this county? I'm not sure. Maybe we'll say maybe a little bit. Frio County went to by just a little, LaSalle County. We'll just say it goes to them by a little bit. But you got blue Texas, but we're going to do a solid blue Texas, which could take a while. Jim Wells is a county that Trump flipped, used to be Democratic. We'll just say it's going that direction. Brewster County, should we say it goes maybe barely, meaning yeah, here we go. Brewster, Reeves County. Oh yeah, I think we skipped Dallas. Did we do Dallas? We didn't do Dallas. Let's do Dallas. What was the original? Yeah, the original number was a 75. Now it's 2 points. You'll see it's going to take quite a while. In fact, I think the numbers will have to get up to 70% in order to actually get that up. But Reeves, Valverde. The Valverde's gotten pretty Republican, though. Maybe barely. All right. And there's Kleberg. I would say maybe going up to like 59%. Let's try Williamson. Yeah, that's going to be up a lot. It is an area by Travis. I'll say like 62. No, not 62% Republican. We want 62% Democratic. But Nueces County, that's San Pietro. Nueces, definitely more Democratic. So it's starting to look like 2018 Senate race, but we've readjusted the numbers a bit. Jefferson County, %55, influenced by Louisiana, African American areas, maybe some Hispanic areas. In Tarrant, in this scenario, I think Tarrant would have been like maybe 59%, definitely, because if this is going to be like solid Democrat, which is, of course, we have a little bit more to do, you're going to have to get this up a little bit more. I also think like Denton, maybe Collin County. We'll see like if it goes to, let's do like 11% Collin. But yes, you'll see 5.72 for Democrats. You need Harris County, 76%. Yep, we're getting close. Bell County, go ahead and give this to Democrats. What about this county? Yeah, that's Republican. Yeah, we'll keep that. Galveston. Let's lower the numbers down in Galveston. I'm not sure it will go Democratic. I doubt it will. But maybe like 54%. We'll not lower the numbers down here. Bastrop County. I don't think Democrats won't probably. Yeah, it's fairly Republican. We'll just say Democrats pick this county up. That is Caldwell County. Somewhat influential. Potter County. But really, Democrats, yeah, they're gonna need this. Yeah, this poll is just ridiculous. Yeah, it's not gonna work. Like, looking at this, I've taken like the biggest areas. I'm not gonna do all of it. This video would be a very long video if I went through all the counties and lowered it down. But I would say this would be like at a margin of 14 points. I'm trying to see what else, what other counties or other populated areas we could possibly flip. Texas counties, see if there's any more populated areas in Texas. Population. Yeah, we already did the big ones. Travis, Collin, Denton, Fort Bend. We did that. Hidalgo has almost 1 million, actually. El Paso, Montgomery. Yeah, we did the big ones. But I would say on paper, it would be closest. So actually, let's go ahead and go give Kennedy County to Democrats. And I got an idea. Let's bring it, Travis, up to 80. Okay, this is 10%. You see what I mean? It's like not going to be enough. Dallas County would have to go up to 80. This is 11%. Yeah, you're not going to get this, period. And then you have to get all the others. This would go up to 60, or something like that. Tarrant, 12%. Yeah, this is ridiculous. Like, this poll, we know the Democrats control the polls, right? We know this. It's not a matter of debate. And they will create fake polls or false polls, and this is one of them. The Democrats want to go around, parade this poll, and celebrate over this. Let them. But we did the math right here. We are trying to create the best victory outcome for like solid Democrat win in Texas. And we're trying to help make that happen for them. And it's not. It's absolutely not working. And I think this overall is what it would look like. But we're basically going to stop. In order for us to climb up to 15%, like this poll is saying, we're going to have to lower all of the red down. And I'm going to tell you guys, this video has gotten to 30 minutes, and we are not going to do that. Our time is up, and we are going to go ahead and stop. But this is what the map would kind of look like in their scenario, which you can sigh in relief that it's not going to happen. This poll, throw it in the garbage. It's not going to happen. And of course, Democrats, they're throwing this insane poll in front of your face to get you freaking out. In order to do it, we know this because we see the fake Iowa poll, we see the fake Trump numbers, we see the fake polls in 2020, we see the fake polls in 2016, we see the fake polls in 2024. This is the Democrats have a long history of this, and this is just laughable. So this is not going to happen. And seeing that the media predictions aren't responding to this poll means that even they're not falling for it. So what do you guys think in regards to this video? And it's important for me to also point out, it's also the RINOs that are trying to do this, right? It is also the RINOs. We know the RINOs also have some part of doing this. They're trying to stop Ken Paxton from winning Texas. Period. They want us to stick with Cornyn, the establishment, and because the establishment, the GOP establishment, the national GOP establishment, they're going to try extra hard to get Cornyn across the finish line, and helping Democrats launch these fake false polls in order to get Republican voters to go out and vote for Paxton. That's part of the PSYOP. That's part of the grift. But we're not going to actually fall for that. Maybe, yes, Paxton's going to win less than Cornyn will, but he's going to win because we know Democrats, in order for them to win Texas, they got to profound outstandingly in Harris County, which last time we checked they did horrible. They lost all the ground made in that county. They have to do outstanding gains in El Paso. They have to do outstanding gains in Travis County. They have to do outstanding gains in Dallas County. They have to make these gains all over, and they can't. They can't because they don't have enough room, and Texas is just too Trumpian, and you're going to get a Trumpian atmosphere there. So that's all I have to say from there. But what do you guys think in regards to this video? Let me know down below, and as always, I'll see you all in the next political episode.